If you're wondering what I'm doing on Sunday rainy morning in front of a shopping centre, that's the answer. So this rooftop is located Anyhow, so this rooftop is located in Penge and it's part of a project run by London Calling blog. So this is a two-story car park that's been leased to London Calling blog to curate this amazing street art gallery. Well, I painted here before in January and told you that I will be back here. So initially I painted here, but as you can see, my piece is already gone. And this is where the other artwork is. It's a mix of street art and traditional graffiti writing, and it's super exciting. And this space is open to public for viewing at certain organised tours by London Calling blog. So I got to choose this top level part of the car park, and I'm repainting a friend of mine, a friend that you might know, Aspire, this lovely bird. Normally I don't show the pieces that I'm painting over, but I just wanted to share with you the reality of such long-term project in Penge, organised by London Calling blog, because when we paint these illegal spots, we know that our work won't last. As my piece from January was already painted downstairs, Aspire, amazing bird, so there is no harsh feelings. Let's do this. So it's a big wall and I'm having help from Stephen, who's mulching half of it. So I'm going to start sketch on this side, but first let us go to the folding station and see what's creasing for today.
Są stworzone po to, żeby...
Overkill on the grid as always. Can you tell what it is? 2 hours later and I'm still working on the sketch. It's becoming very apparent that it's at least a 2-day piece, because we need to be out of this car park at 4:30. It's been 3 hours and I'm still sketching. This car park closes at 4:30. I have an hour and a half to do what? Nothing. The sketch is wonky. Have you figured it out what it is yet? Did you get it from the folding station? So this video is going to be a 2-part video, and I'm going to show you how I perfect my sketches when I have the luxury of extra time. The sketch is here, but it's really wonky, especially the fat caps, which are ellipses on ellipses, and I want to make it perfect without rushing. And the luxury of not having to rush, it's just beautiful. I'm going to finish now and take you back home to show you a trick what I do when I work with commissions, when I work with like prominent spots that are long lasting, as opposed to my regular, you know, 1-day quick spots in East London. So this trick is for those of you who really aim for super realistic pieces. To follow this trick, you don't need a camera. You can do it with your phone, right? It's me just being, you know, extra. And so what you do basically, you take a photo of your sketch as flat as possible, as to avoid skewed axes. Now I'm happy with it, and let's go to my folding station. Right, so it's been exactly 5 days since I was on this roof, and that gives me an opportunity to look at it with fresh eyes. That's why this video is different, because it gives me a chance to reflect and kind of be more at ease about what I do. The reference I'm painting is actually really simple, because I actually had it planned for a 1 day, one-off piece in East London. It was supposed to be a quick piece, but this technique, this approach applies to however complex your reference is. The first thing I'm doing is in Lightroom, I'm choosing the best photo from the rooftop, you know, the one that's not skewed. I do slight adjustments, angle, to get the horizontals right, and I open it in Photoshop. I've already done a bit of work on it to just save time, and as you can see, I created 2 layers: the wall photo from the rooftop and the original reference I'm painting from that I shot last week. Because I work off doodle grid, I don't have much work to do as long as the photo is taken on head-on without any distortion. And you can see by dropping down the opacity over here, there's not much work to be done. It's just a matter of scale, right? It's a matter of scale and just positioning it slightly, right? I'm going to bring it back here. That's pretty much aligned. I'm really happy with it. It's bang on. And then by changing opacity, I see all the reference points, and it gives me the idea how it's overlapping. And the design is pretty simple again, so I use this technique for very complex commissions and so on and so forth. But what I'm interested today is most are those fat caps, because I struggle with painting ovals and ellipses. So by following this technique, I can identify over here really quickly where I made mistakes while sketching on the grid, right? And with the luxury of this extra time, I can just understand how it's behaving with the new reference points so that it's as accurate as possible. So hopefully this video has been very helpful, different from the usual from folds to walls upload, and hopefully this trick will help you to improve as a street artist, because this applies mostly to street artists aiming for hyper-realism rather than traditional graffiti lettering. You can apply this, you know, if you want to maybe position your design on a wall in a certain way, but hopefully this was really helpful and different. In 10 hours I'll be on the rooftop, and I need to fix my drone before I go to bed. So hopefully in the next video, when I start painting this piece, my drone will be flying.